Hi, I'm Kuljit Bhamra, and in this episode, we'll be talking about Tabla Touch. What is it, and why did we create it? But firstly, I'd like to thank you for watching our videos. We've had a massive response and interest for Tabla Touch, and lots of very positive feedback from people who are very excited about this new invention. So, a bit of history. I was in a show in the West End called Bombay Dreams, which was produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber, music by A.R. Rahman. And each song in that show was in a different key. So one song was in C, the next song was in F, the next song was in G. And I had lots of tablas pre-tuned in front of me on the floor, but there was not enough time to change over. And also, they had gone out of tune. So I fantasized at that time, which I think was 2002, about having an electronic tabla that I could just turn a dial and change the tuning. And that's one of the main features of Tabla Touch. Another feature of Tabla Touch is that it has other sound banks in it. Now, if you think about how we play tabla, we play it in a very unique way. This gesturing doesn't work on any other instrument. It only works on tabla. Whereas, if you play guitar, perhaps you could play banjo because it's a similar sort of action. If you play the clarinet, perhaps you could play the saxophone because it's very similar. If you play the violin, perhaps you could move to the viola because it's very similar. But when you play tabla, and many people spend years and years and years learning these strikes, once you've learned to play tabla, you can really only do it on a tabla. So one of my visions was to actually make it connectable to a computer or sound module so that by playing these gestures, you could also trigger other sounds. Now, there is another video about this and about the MIDI capabilities of Tabla Touch, and I urge you to watch that if you want to find out more about it. But I have to say that the MIDI side of things was more to do with the notation of tabla music and how to write it down. So I really wanted composers to be able to write a score for tabla. And they could either write it by hand or in a computer software program, or they could have a tabla touch and play a simple rhythm. And by connecting it to a computer, it would print out a score, which they could then give to a musician to play. So that was the main reason of it earlier on. But now what's happening is the MIDI is being used to explore further avenues of creativity and different sound worlds with these gestures. Another reason for creating Tabla Touch was, tablas are bulky. They're about 4 kilograms each. I've got many behind me, as you can see. And so a set of tablas will weigh about 8 kilograms. Once you've got a case, it's 10 kilograms. When I travel with my accessories, it's usually about 13 or 15 kilograms. This only weighs 3 kilograms. So there's a portability aspect of this as well. One of the main reasons for creating this instrument is that I realized that, I don't know how to say this, but I realized that people are scared of the tabla. Tabla Touch, actually, the way it's designed, it's designed to look like a tabla because I love the tabla and I want more people to come into the world of tabla. It's not scary like an acoustic tabla is. I know that's a funny thing to say, but this is like a sort of interface. It's not an iPad or anything like that, but it's a simple interface. What I've noticed when I've taken it to conventions and conferences is people come up to this and just play it straight away. They're not scared of it. Whereas a tabla, an acoustic tabla, many people are scared of breaking it or perhaps conducting a religious faux pas or something, or doing something wrong spiritually. But with this, it's much more accessible. So there you are. Those are the reasons for creating Tabla Touch. And it's really wonderful to see musicians who have already bought Tabla Touch, who are exploring further creative possibilities with these gestures, connecting it to computers, using MIDI, using the sound banks in Tabla Touch, and using it in a way to make brand new music. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.